Hello everyone. In this class we are going to see the definition of index and cyclic group. Last class we have seen equivalence relation and cosets. A set A is said to be equivalence relation. The set A is reflexive, symmetric and transitive. Also we have seen the definition of left cosets and right cosets. Now we have to come with the definition of index. If H is the subgroup of G, the index of H in G is the number of distinct right cosets of H in G and is denoted by Ig of H. G will be in the suffix. Similarly, the number of distinct left cosets of H is also called an index of H in G. Note, if G is a finite group, then Ig of H is calculated by order of G divided by order of H. Suppose G is a finite group means G have some elements, some 8 elements means H is having 2 elements means so Ig of H will be calculated by order of G means that will be 8 elements, order of H means that will be 2 elements, so 8 divided by 2 is equal to 4. Therefore, the index of H is equal to 4. The next we have to come with the lemma. The statement is, there is one-to-one correspondence between any two right cosets of H in G. One-to-one correspondence means we have to show that that function will be one-to-one and onto. So we have to come with the proof. Let HA, HB be two any right cosets of H. Now we have to come with let F is from HA to HB. It will be defined by F of HA is equal to HB. We are defining the function from one to another means we have to take an element from the first one. In HA we have HA. F of HA is equal to the second element, that is HB. So F of HA is equal to HB. Like this we are going to define for every H belongs to H. So we have to prove that function F is one-to-one as well as onto. We have to show that a function is one-to-one means this is the method. F of x is equal to f of y means, which implies x is equal to y. Then easily we can say f is one-to-one. So here we are taken like this. F of HA is equal to HB. So like this we have to come with let F of H1 of A is equal to F of H2 of A. We are defining F of HA is equal to HB. So H1 of A will be written as H1 of B. F of H2 of A is written as H2 of B. Here B will be cancelled by right cancellation law. So we get H1 is equal to H2. So here that will be implies we have to multiply it by A on both sides means we get H1 of A is equal to H2 of A. Therefore, here F of H1 of A is equal to F of H2 of A will implies H1 of A is equal to H2 of A. Therefore, easily we can say this F is one-to-one. Similarly, we have to come with F is onto. Onto means every element of HB has a pre-image in HA. That is, we have to show that. So we have to take one element from HB. X belongs to HB. So by the coset definition, HB is equal to HB for every H belongs to H. So X is equal to HB. Also, HA belongs to HA. There exists an element HA. We are defining like this. F of HA is equal to HB. So HA means this F will be this side means F inverse of HB. This will be represents Every element of HB has a pre-image in HA. Therefore, easily we can say F is onto. Therefore, there is one-to-one correspondence between any two right cosets of H in G. Similarly, suppose the question is there is one-to-one correspondence between any two left cosets of H, means instead of HA and HB you have to take AH and BH. With the two left cosets of H, the same proof. Similarly, we can prove this result. The next one is cyclic group. Listen the definition. Let G be a group. Let A belongs to G. Then H is represented by A power n. This n is belongs to Z. Z means the whole numbers, that is 0, plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, etc. is a subgroup of G. Then H is called the cyclic subgroup of G generated by A, and it is denoted by A. Here G is a group and that A element is belongs to in G. We can represent H is equal to A power n, that n is belongs to Z, is also a subgroup of G. Then H is called a cyclic subgroup of G generated by A. For example, we have to consider G is equal to Z12, plus. So here we are going to represent generator of 3 and generator of 5. So generator of 3 is equal to, in pencil we are written 0, 3, 6, 9, 12. That means here we are representing the operation is plus. So 3 means the first one is 0, the next one is 0 plus 3, the next one is 3 plus 3 6, next 6 plus 3 is 9, plus 9 plus 3 is 12. Like this we are taken. So generator we have to write like this. 0 means 0, here G is Z12. So you have to divide by 12, the remainder is 0. So we have to take the first one is 0. The next will be 3. So 3 means we can divide by 12 means we can't divide. So the remainder is 3. Similarly 6 we have to divide by 12 means we can't divide. So that value will be 6 as it is. Then next one is 9. So for 9 you have to divide by 12 means that is also we can't divide. So the remainder is 9. The next element is 12. So 12 divided by 12 is 1. The remainder is 0. So the series will be again repeated. That will be 0. So you have to stop up to this. This will be the generator of 3. For example, we have to take the next element. 12 plus 3 is 15. So 15 divided by 12 means the remainder is 3. So the next one is 12 divided by 12 means the remainder is 0. 15 divided by 12 means the remainder is 3. The next 18 divided by 12 means the remainder is 6. The next one is 21 divided by 12 means the remainder is 9. Again we get the series 0, 3, 6, 9. So we have to start with the first series. 0, 3, 6, 9 is your generator of 3. Similarly, we have to come with 5, generator of 5. So you have to write like this. 0, 0 plus 5, 5, 5 plus 5, 10, 10 plus 5, 15, 15 plus 5, 20, etc. up to 55. Here is also the same Z12. So 0, so divided by 12 means we can't divide, the remainder will be 0. 5 is also we can't divide, so the remainder is 5. The next 10. 10 is also we can't divide, so the remainder is 10. You have to keep as it is. The next one is 15. So for 15 you have to divide by 12 means we get the remainder 3. The next is 20. For 20 divided by 12 means the remainder is 8. The next is 25. 25 divided by 12 means the remainder is 1. The next is 30. For 30 you have to divide by 12 means the remainder is 6. The series not repeated. For up to this you have to do like this. The next is 35. For 35 you have to divide by 12 means we get the remainder 11. The next one is 40. For 40 you have to divide by 12 means 4 times 12. The remainder is 4. The next one is 45. So 45 you have to divide by 12 means the remainder is 9. The next is 50. For 50 you have to divide by 12 means the remainder is 2 because 12 fours are 48. The remainder will be 2. The next will be 55. For 55 we have to divide by 12 means the remainder is 7. So here listen girls, the next element is 55 plus 5 means 60. For 60 you have to divide by 12 means we get the remainder 0. So the series will be repeated. The next will be 65. For 65 we have to divide by 12 means the remainder will be 5. For 70 means for 70 we have to divide by 12 means the remainder is 10. For 75 we have to divide by 12 means the remainder is 3. So the series is repeated. So you have to stop with the first one. So the generator of 5 will be represented by 0, 5, 10, 3, 8, 1, 6, 11, 4, 9, 2, 7. So I think this example will be clear. Now we have to come with the next example. Let g is equal to 1, I, minus 1, minus I. So here we are going to write the generator of I as well as the generator of minus I. So generator of I means here the binary operation didn't mention, so you have to write like this. So generator of I is equal to, for 1 we have to using I means I power 0. In G we have the 4 elements 1, I, minus 1, minus I. So using I you have to write the value element of G. For 1 we have to write I power 0. For I you have to write I power 1. For minus 1 we have to write I square. For minus I you have to write I cube. So generator of I is 1, I, minus 1, minus I. Similarly, we have to write generator of minus I means for 1 we have to write minus I the whole power 0. For I you have to write minus I the whole cube. Then only we get the value of I, because minus I into minus I into minus I. So minus I into minus I is I square. I square value is minus 1. So minus 1 into minus I is I. So instead of minus 1 we have to write minus I the whole square, because minus I into minus I is I square. I square value will be minus 1. The next will be minus I. So minus I means minus I the whole power 5, because minus I the whole power 4 is I square the whole power 2. So minus 1 the whole square is positive. So positive into minus I. So we get the result minus I. So the generator of G are I and minus I. Here we have to note 1. We can't write the generator of 1 and minus 1. So I means we put the power means it will be reduced to 1 and minus 1. But 1 and minus 1 means we can't reduce with I. So the generator of G are only I and minus I. 1 and minus 1 are not generators of G. Next we have to come with the properties of cyclic group. The first property is every cyclic group is an abelian group. Proof: we have to take let G is equal to generator of A be a cyclic group generated by A. So generated by A you have to write like this: G is equal to A. So here we have to take two elements. Here we have to show that every cyclic group is an abelian group. Abelian group means we have to prove xy is equal to yx. So we have to take two elements. Cyclic group definition means H is equal to A power n form. So we have to take two cyclic groups x and A. So we have to take two elements. X comma y belongs to G means x is equal to A power r. Similarly y is equal to A power s. This is by using the definition of cyclic group. So we have to come with the left hand side xy. Xy is equal to A power r into A power s. So base are equal means we can add the powers. So A power r plus s. So A plus r plus s can be written as s plus r. So A power s plus r. So A power s into A power r. By our definition, A power s can be written as y. A power r can be written as x. So xy is equal to yx. This implies every cyclic group is an abelian group. We have to come with the second property. If A is a generator of the cyclic group G, then A inverse is also a generator of cyclic group of G. So let AG is equal to generator of A be a cyclic group. So here by the definition x is equal to a power r for some r belongs to z. So z means 0 comma plus or minus 1 comma plus or minus 2 comma etc. So a power r can be written as a inverse the whole power minus r, which implies any element of G can be written as an integral power of a inverse as r minus r. So a power r is equal to a power minus the whole power minus r. So a power minus as minus r is also an integer. Here the minus r is also integer. Therefore a inverse is also a generator of G. So girls, go through with the properties and the lemma. If you have any doubt, ask me. Thank you.